When I was first asked to do this review, I didn't want any parts to do with a correctional training collar. It wasn't until I spoke to Andrew and he explained to me the difference in this collar and how much more it is improved compared to the other competition out there. The collar's great because it has 2 sound corrections and 10 different levels of static corrections. Another thing that sets this collar apart is that your dog only gets corrected when he barks. So the collar actually has to hear his bark and get a vibration from the dog. And only then is your dog corrected. So when starting out your training, you have to be present. And the collar works just like you would. So if he were to bark and I were to tell him no, the collar does that as well. It gives him an audible alert. And then if he barks again, and I say no, but this time I say it louder, the collar also sends a louder audible alert. And if the dog still isn't listening by the 3rd time, and I said no very firm, he gets a gentle little vibration that lets him know, hey, listen to mom. And it's great because I can use it even when I'm not here, so I know that he's not disturbing the neighbors and we're not going to get kicked out of our apartment. So if you have a very sweet and mild-mannered dog like this guy, you can set it to very mild and not have to worry about your dog being scared or anything like that.
When I was asked to do this video review of a product, I initially refused. That is until Andrew explained to me how much more improved his collar is compared to the competition, with a few striking differences. For example, your dog only gets corrected when he barks. Huge plus compared to the other bark collars. The microprocessor in the collar must receive the noise from the bark and also the vibration from the throat simultaneously in order for it to send a correction. This makes a huge improvement on other collars. There are 2 sound corrections, as well as 10 different levels of static correction. If your dog barks, there's first an audible correction, then a second audible correction, then a very mild static correction. If your dog continues to bark, the static correction increases. Very similar to when you would be telling him no, you start to raise your voice, and if he continues to ignore you, your correction becomes more forceful. Exactly the same as the collar. The main difference between you correcting him and the collar is that the collar offers 100% continuity, even offering correction when you're not there. Once your dog understands that continuous barking is unacceptable behavior, he will cease to do so. When you do your bark collar training, you must be present when starting out. Your dog barks, you tell him no, the collar reinforces the no command.